Game number 1, Cursed Hollow, is our first map. Another best of 5. We are in the second half of the Masters Clash now. This is Playday number 8. And we have Team Arthas going up against Inting for Ruby. Yeah, we already had some surprises. The Playday just started. And the first thing that happens is a ban against the Vikings here on Cursed Hollow. They're like, nope, whatever you had planned, it's not happening. So I'm kind of excited for this because Inting for Ruby, they are still the last in the standings, don't get me wrong, they're rank 8 now, but at the same time they have been playing better and you could really see a lot of improvement over the first half of the season. And honestly, they seem to have a pretty healthy attitude towards the game. They're saying like, of course we are the underdog everywhere, this is the first time that we qualify for something like this. But during the first half of the season you could really see them improve more and more and more, and they were at the end able to win a couple of maps even. And honestly, they should have won even more than those, and I think the lack of experience was the only reason why they lost some of the games they played. So now that they go up against Team Arthas, it's kind of interesting, since this is the rank 6 against rank 8. So for Inting for Ruby, this is one of those matches where you at least think, hey, we should be able to maybe take a map here. So we'll see what they can pull off. We got the birdie in, Falsa gets taken on the bans. I kind of want to highlight a little bit that Medivh wasn't banned out. I don't think that Inting for Ruby has been playing a lot with Medivh, so that's a bit of a weakness in their setup. Same time, that's also true for Team Arthas, so I don't think we're going to see any of that happening here. With Sonya being banned out, the early ban into Hogger doesn't really come as a shock either. But yeah, even Phoenix gets banned now. A lot of the stuff, obviously, at this point is going to be target bans. I mean, you have now a lot of material where you can just simply like move in, see what did my opponent play throughout the first season, the first half of the season, and then adapt a bit. May coming in for Fish, very early commitment on the tank for him now. And yeah, third ban, Sylvanas gets taken away. And off we go. They are hesitating a bit on that last ban. Dehaka. Yeah, baby Houdini, he likes his Dehaka, that's true. He played a lot of Dehaka in the past. This is a big map if you have a global. And they already have false stats, so if you play a double global, there's always a chance that you're dominating, you know, the macro game too much. So they just decide that they don't want to give them the chance to do that. Macro is not really where Inting for Ruby usually excels. Again, with less experience, that's typical. But they got better on it. So yeah, they don't want to give them that opportunity. We still got Rexa in, and we have Malfurion on top of it too. So yeah, we need some additional damage. Fawcett alone is not going to cut it here. And well, there's Tyrael and Genji. We've seen a lot of Tyrael with Judgment, especially the Hardos just played that recently with like Judgment into Leap. Now you could go Judgment into X-Strike or just Genji general damage in general, but this is also a great map on the boss fights for Sanctification, so there's that too. Either way, this sets us up for game number 1 in the best of 5 series here at the Masters Clash. Some more Heroes of the Storm action coming up there today. And the last pick is Deathwing. A little bit more global over here, so we got Deathwing in. Cursed Hollow is the map, everybody. We're heading into our first map of the day between Inting for Ruby and Team Arthas. Game number 1, Stalk for the blue team, ArthasStroitHram, which means Arthas builds a temple. Definitely butchering, by the way, however this is pronounced, but that's what it means. So we got Stalk on Tyrael, Kojam on Genji, Renella on Lucio, Murenas on Hogger, and Denado is playing Diva. On the right side of the map, Inting for Ruby, the underdogs, with Fish on May, Mindtalk on Deathwing. We got Nox on Malfurion, Hat on Falstad, and Baby Houdini is playing Rexa. So, let's get this party started. Let's get the show on the road and see what they can do here. On level 1, Easy Prey. And we got the Ardent Restoration. Okay. It's pretty much Blizzard just like going for the normal talents that they had, adjusting them a little bit and then giving them fancy names. That's all that we were saying. So, yep. At the top, Genji is stealing the fountain away. Nice. Gets immediately supported by Lucio. And, yep, that was nicely done. Fish comes in and tries to punish them for it. And honestly, there was a little bit of a close call. Even if Genji falls here, it doesn't matter. As long as they take the fountain down, that's a win. If Genji dies this early in the game, he's going to be back in a flash. There's just no... The death timers pretty much don't exist this early on. So if you lose a hero on level 1, but you get a fountain as a result, then that is a worthy trade. So that is a neat move that was just made, and really helps the blue team already. So the top lane is going to be a bit easier for Genji now. And they are already setting up small traps against Hat. Yeah, trying to push him a little bit deeper. But even the extra damage against him is already helping, because he won't be able to tap that one. So he's going to be forced to eventually Hearthstone back in and fly back in. And you don't really want to do that. Normally, you always want to make sure that you're not using your global to simply Hearthstone back and then fly onto lane. There are instances where you just simply have to, and where you make that play. But if you can avoid it, you want to avoid it, because you always want to have that threat active on the map, that you fly onto another lane and then gank up on a different hero or help the team out in an objective fight, in a fight over a camp or whatever else. So he's going to lose that if he has to go back a whole lot here. The early level 4 for Team Arthas. Already the push straight in the middle. And currently we are looking at Dragon Claw as the level 4 talent. We already got the Stalwart Angel in as well. And the Birdie with the hammer gains. Camps are taken on both sides now, just before the first objective is getting announced. Another 15 seconds, and we're going to see the tribute announced at the bot lane. Get a little bit more with Hunter-Gatherer here, so the extra armor for Misha and Rexa is going to kick in once he has that completed. With the camps colliding now in the middle of the map, the teams are already pushing for some structural damage. The early level 5 kicks in too, so there's still an experience lead for Team Arthas. And honestly, for a new team, that's always the biggest problem. Making sure that you're controlling the lane experience. That's one of the most difficult things to learn, just in general. And of course, the teams back in the days of HGC were by far the best in doing that. These days, it's even easier, because Blizzard put those experience globes in, which make the game much, much easier, because you now have more time to rotate between lanes to make sure that you soak the entire wave. Back in the days of HGC, that didn't exist, so you had to be way more crisp on your timings in order to ensure that you don't lose out on lane experience. But even with experience globes in, you can now see that this is one of the biggest gaps between experienced teams and newcomers, that they struggle a bit more to soak every single lane just throughout the entire game, and that makes up a big difference. Now in this series, I don't think it's going to make... It's not going to be this big of a gap, but whenever you see the Donuts play, whenever you see the Hardos play, you can really watch that happen as the game continues. First tribute is up, but we're not seeing too much action around it just yet. Everybody's just ensuring that the other team is not able to take it. Falstad also now went into the secret weapon after the old boomerang was pretty much made baseline. That one is of course now an option and can easily be taken. Allows you to push structures a little bit more. So different story now. But with level 7 talents on both sides, we're finally seeing some action around the tribute. With Deathwing in the mix, it's always tricky to take that. But Renella is going to get the channel. Fish is a bit too late. Yeah, he was trying, but that snowball didn't connect, and that's the first tribute right there for the blue team. Also, once again, Hogger sees red. It doesn't really surprise me, since he is literally going up against the red team, so anything else would have been a bit of a shock. Now we have Mind Talk and his boys down at the bottom, but they're starting to... I mean, they're losing a little bit of ground. It's nothing crazy. They're still on experience, and I haven't seen a kill yet, but they just lost the tribute. They have also lost their top fountain, so that's gonna hurt a bit in the long run. But Hat is doing a fairly good job regardless, so he's actually doing quite nicely topside considering the circumstances here. As I said before, the global helps him, but it shuts down some of the aggressive plays that technically he could make here. Next tribute also in a great position for the blue team. A little bit farther off to their side, so it's a safer one. It could be very like that. Inting for Ruby doesn't even make a move for it. And instead they're going for the boss. Yeah, they're trying to get the boss instead. Okay. That's where also now Secret Weapon is coming in. Honestly, in team fights, you're never really going to get that. It was one of the biggest arguments back in the day why you shouldn't really take Secret Weapon over Boomerang. Because, like, this theory crafting where you're saying, like, hey, look how much damage you get. You're never going to get all of these auto attacks connected while the Hammerang is flying. But if you're going up against some boss or a structure, then that's a different story. Now, with the blue team sniffing that out, that is quickly turning against Inting for Ruby, though. They were trying to go for a sneaky play, and it doesn't work, so the boss gets taken, but instead Baby Houdini takes the tribute. So it's pretty much the exact opposite of what Inting for Ruby was aiming for. They were saying, take the tribute, it's fine, but we take our boss. And instead, Team Arthas now stole the boss away, but they lost the tribute at the bottom of the map. And they grabbed the early level 10, which in this case gives us the Hoarder pull, plus also the high 5. There's Judgment! And now the question, what is Genji gonna take? It's the X-Strike, baby! And while the topside boss gets defended, they move down to the bottom of the map to go for the double boss play and lock their second one in too. So, right here, last one to take one is the Bunny Hop. Yeah, for a lot of these fights, it's actually not a bad choice. Having the Indestructible up, or the Unstoppable, is fairly solid. So, double boss play, that might even, I mean, damn. It's not going to take the 4 down, but it is dangerously close. Another tribute coming up, but there's already problems for Inting for Ruby. Yeah, because down here, the push continues, and we are going to see targeted attacks against especially Falstad, but also Malfurion, with what we're seeing now from the blue team. And now that the two are down here at the bottom of the map, Genji can move towards the top. Yeah, the tribute got taken already, though. No, actually it didn't. They had to cancel it. Sorry, my bad. Instead, they are trying to lock down Malfurion. He is in trouble. Yeah, Judgment is already out. There's the ice wall, okay, but they can't really capitalize on any of that. It was a nice ice wall from Fish, but you need to have the follow-up ready. And that wasn't the case. So if we get the damage lined up there, it's a different story, but as it stands, it only slowed them down a bit. Now, Deathwing is still at the bottom of the map, and Genji is saying hello here. I mean, he needs healing as usual, but he is really starting to threaten the front line. Fish is dropping rather low in HP, and they are abandoning the position for the moment. Deathwing is the one that is trying to interrupt, and yeah, they're just moving away for now. This is a nice push bot side, by the way, so I really like that from Inting for Ruby. Genji is now the one who has to apparently try and deal with that. Denado's in the middle of the map doing more or less the same thing here. But this might result in the lead and tributes for Inting for Ruby. They have some nice macro setup in the mid and top lane. Still need to try and set something up here. Maybe a kill. Yeah, nope, they can't get Hogger. So Genji is now done with the defense at the bot lane. Mid lane has been defended, which means that D.Va is back to business. And Genji is on the way. Judgment is up again, but Hogger is down. Hogger got popped. He's down. Nox goes straight up for the channel. This time they're also controlling the side to make sure that nobody's sneaking in and getting a cheeky shot off against Malfurion. And with that, we now have 1 tribute against 2. Slight advantage for Inting for Ruby. And experience is still dead even with a kill on each side. The stacks are also coming together. Slowly. We got 13,000 damage for the birdie and 15,000 for Hogger. Yeah, Genji, he's going to try to take this one down. Okay, so there we go. Hat is going to be pushed out and time to party. The 13 is ready. Now they're taking the wall down. And, well, top side. That's what we now have. Still Genji trying to take that. Honestly, he should get this one. I mean, right now, escorting the minion wave through is nice, but he could literally just, like, dive in. As long as they know where everybody is. With Falstad shows at the bot lane, he can just simply go for it. Either way, he's going to be able to take it down now. First fort of the game falls. Mid lane has been attacked a bit. But everybody is just waiting for the next tribute. And this is honestly an opportunity to get at least a curse. So if Inting for Ruby is able to curse Team Arthas, that would be a big one. But now the mid lane is getting pressure too, so they gotta be careful here. At the meantime, there's the bunny hop already. Denado jumping out. The ice wall goes down too. They're trying to go for the birdie, but it is Hogger that gets dropped. Raxa falls as well, though. Kill for a kill as the rest of the team fight is still unfolding right in front of us. Top lane, mid lane, both get pressured by Team Arthas in the camps that they've set up, but they're on the run right now as Hat and his boys are trying to get kills in and trying to focus on D.Va, but the fish is a bit too deep and he gets killed. Mei is out, and as I mentioned, mid lane is also starting to eat a bit more damage. And just look at that double cam top side. They gotta retreat. In the meantime, Stork is gonna get the channel. They're diving even a bit deeper. They try to go for Malfurion, but he is able to escape. Close call, but he gets out. And now Hoga is on the way down to the bottom of the map to make sure that they're not losing any more hit points on that 4 either. Middle on the map, that was some solid damage against the fort. So we got a bit of a fight on our hands. 3 kills to 2. It was pretty much like blow to blow. But still slight advantage here regardless for Team Arthas. But considering that they had a double boss play initially, this is kind of surprising. This is way more even than you would expect. The tribute gets announced and it's going to happen at the bottom of the map. Hoga is now trying to rotate top to make sure that they're not taking the boss here. Now, of course, Team Arthas could have decided to simply go for their own boss in the meantime, but they decided against it. So now they have to face the music here. 16 isn't ready yet for them. They would love to get the level 16 first. Boss is already getting leashed, but here's the potential for a win, and Malfurion dies. And that is bad news. With Malf down, they gotta retreat again, and that of course is gonna translate directly into a curse. Or at least it should. D.Va is on their way down to the bottom of the map, I suppose, and they're attempting to steal the camp away now too. And the red team can't fight here. Guys, you don't have a support. I don't think you understand. You don't have a support, and now you lose Mei. Why? Like, yeah, that doesn't, like, that, yeah, just...
Nope.
Not like this. Now you're cursed, you lost the camp anyways, and as Malfurion comes back on the map, you are lacking your main tank. That was not the move. That was not the move. D.Va does the right thing. She just jumps past the fort, takes the minions down at the keep, is opening this up, can join up with the rest of the team. And of course, now they are just trying to crush it here. Baby Houdini is gonna get murdered by D.Va once she moves in. Yep, she gets the kill. Counter kill potentially against Lucio, but he survives, and the curse is still racking them. Top lane, bot lane, everything is getting attacked. The forts are all gone. The keep is under pressure, and the curse lasts for another 26 seconds. Judgment, and Nox is dead. The first keep is about to fall. The walls are falling too. It's a 2-level lead now. D.Va is dead, so at least they get a bit of counter damage. Hoga is also rather low, but you can already tell that the top lane is in trouble. At the bottom of the map, the wall is falling. Over here, the keep is taking damage. It's not going to fall. At least it shouldn't, but it's still going to be close. 50% HP. Full on control now by Team Arthas. They're playing a great setup here, and it's just nothing that Inting for Ruby seem to be able to handle. They're having way too much trouble in this one. 7 kills against 3 already tell you the tale here. Now Team Arthas, the Russian team is of course aggressive as usual, and now they're trying to force the fight here once again. They don't care that it's still even talents. They know Malfurion isn't here. They've already seen him on the minimap, so that's the best opportunity they have to for 4 versus 4. But D.Va isn't back yet. So once Malfurion joins the fun, it's quickly going to turn into a 5 versus 4 in favor of Inting for Ruby. So your best shot is just to fall back a little bit and make sure that D.Va is joining up with you. Now the problem is still the same. The top lane is consistently going to pressure now. So if the red team is sticking around down here to maybe battle for the boss, it means that their top lane is going to push. Now you got Deathwing, you got Falstad, so you got a couple of heroes that you can use to make that happen. But they are already falling back in an attempt to take the camp. They need someone at the top lane that defends this. And the boss is now a freebie. So, Inting for Ruby, they are falling slightly apart here. They're having some real trouble. They have to defend on all 3 lanes. So that doesn't make it any easier. But now that the boss is taken, you can see Team Arthas is very likely going to go for a double boss play simply. Boss at the bot lane is going to already do more than enough damage. Now they can go for double boss, or just simply push here a bit, try and hope for a kill, but either way, double boss would be easy. You just have to watch if someone is at the bottom of the map. You can see that Denardo is just double checking here if anybody's flanking in. Now they have vision of the heroes, and that's when they're starting to attack the boss, because now they know that nobody can interrupt them here. There's just nobody that can threaten this in any way. And that boss is of course going to go through the keep. I mean, this one is going to fall 100%. This one down here is already going to do damage, but it's not going to be in a position to take the keep down. But topside, that's a very, very different story. I mean, topside, that's the boss already claimed, and now they're just ensuring that not only the boss, but also the siege giants are getting close enough to the keep to drop it. And that could be the end of the game, because now you have level 20. Now you're talking about level 20 on top of it. So you have advantage after advantage, and Team Arthas, yep, they are just a little bit too good here. We got the Zanjin already in. So far the quest isn't completed. He's at 5,600. But, I mean, even if they don't end the game here, it will be done eventually. There it is, completed quickly, bam. And that's going to be just crazy in and of itself. So now 15 minutes in, Bunny Hop, Malfurion is dead. Mei in trouble. She's also down. Everybody dead and dying as the boss drops the shield on the core. And this is going to be the victory for Team Arthas in the first game of the Heroes of the Storm series at the Masters Clash. Playday 8, ladies and gentlemen. Another kill, 11-4 now in total. And they are going for the 5-man wipe, and they get it. First map, Cursed Hollow, ends in favor of Team Arthas as they secure the lead in the best of 5.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Let's go! Game number 2! We got the lead for Team Arthas as we're heading into Dragonshire, everybody. So now the Phoenix ban comes in instantly again. But I gotta say that Inting was a little bit outclassed on the first map, and you could tell that especially the macro game was a problem towards the end. In the beginning, I think they held on nicely, but you could really tell that once the map opened up a little bit and those forts got destroyed, that Team Arthas played it pretty well. I mean, Sog has a lot of experience as a shot caller and the captain of the team, so now we are in a spot where they could just play around the boss the entire time. They could put it around the lane pressure, and it's kind of surprising if you think about it, because the entire lineup that was being played on the side of Inting kind of was set up to have some macro power, right? I mean, you're looking at Falster, you're looking at Deathwing, so you're trying to really control the macro with them and the lanes, and it didn't work out for them. Instead, Stork and the decisions that his team made put them under pressure time and time again, and that just snowballed very quickly. I'm a bit afraid of it because now on Dragonshire it is honestly a map where you can make similar plays. This is a very heavy macro map, and I don't think it's an accident that this one is getting picked against Inting for Ruby. A little bit surprised that we see Hogger and Sonya, not Alexa pick too, but those two can control every single camp now. So if they get on any camp, they're going to take it. Especially the Bruiser camp at the bottom of the map, at the third lane, is very likely going to be targeted over and over again. So, yeah. But let's have a bit of a look of how exactly the red team is going to try and win this one. Dehaka, okay. Damn, this could be a game where we don't see Rexa at all. So, I'm a bit surprised. Dragonshire without Rexa, not banned, no nothing. So, okay, so, well, let's see what we get. That surprises me a bit. The King of Dragonshire not taken. Heresy. Jojo gets banned. Afish has been playing her in the past too. I mean, obviously, if he gets his Uther, that's the best thing. But anyways. They got Lucio, they get the Haka, so they have quick rotations between lanes with Lucio and can empower that. I'm still a bit terrified seeing that Hogger and Sonya. I mean, normally we are always seeing either one being picked and the other side chooses the next one. So them letting Sonya and Hogger through and not picking one, that already terrifies me a little bit. I mean, what have we seen in the previous games? I mean, seriously, it was always either one of the two gets banned, or if both of them are up, one team early picks Hogger or Sonya and the other team immediately in the first rotation picks the other one. And that both end up in the hands of Team Arthas is a bit terrifying. Because those two side laners are currently just like the top of the meta at this point. That's why I've been saying in one of the earlier series that we really hope that Blizzard in the next patch, whenever it may come, is going to address them a little bit. They have to deal with Sonya, they have to adjust the numbers slightly, they have to adjust Hogger a little bit. The same is true for Uther, who's now a ban all the time. Doesn't mean that you have to nerf them into the ground, but you have to at least balance them a little bit better, so that they are not insta-picks in pretty much every single game. So small adjustments would go a long way. Now Stukov is taken, and we get Stalk on Mace. There's a lot of CC already. There's Control, Junker on the other side, and Blaze as a main tank. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I think Inting for Ruby is gonna get wrecked here. Let me see what the last pick is for the range damage. But I am terrified by what I see on the blue team if I compare it to what's being played by Inting for Ruby. Now, in an ideal world, there's plays that can be made by Inting for Ruby. I just don't think that they're going to get these ideal scenarios. So now we got Jimmy in for the range damage. It's going to be an uphill battle for Inting for Ruby. So let's see. Maybe they surprise me here. Dragonshy is our second map, so let's go in and see what the red team can do, or if Team Arthas walks away with a 2-0 lead in the best of 5 series. Game number 2, Team Arthas against Inting for Ruby. Yeah, we got May, played by Stork, Renella on Stukov. Kojam is playing Reyna, Morena's on Hogga, and Denado is playing Sonya. I haven't really pointed it out in game number 1 just yet, but there was some changes on the side of Team Arthas. So they have a slightly different lineup right now. Changed out a couple of players for the second part of this first season of the Masters Clash. On the right side of the map, Inting for Ruby with Mind Talk on Junkrat. We got Nox on Lucio. We have Hat playing Sylvanas. Fish is playing the main tank Blaze. And we got Baby Houdini on Dehaka. Now, personally, I'm not really a big fan of main tank Blaze. It has been done in the past a little bit, even in HGC times. Some of the top teams have experimented with it, and normally what happened very quickly after they played it once or twice is that they just abandoned the entire idea again. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Technically, you can still make that happen, especially since after HGC was killed and then buried by Blizzard and forgotten in a grave somewhere out in the desert, and then peed on by them. After all that happened, they changed the hero a little bit, so now the jet propulsion is a bit more reliable and has a shorter charge up, so it's much better to play Blaze as a main tank now than it was back then, and you see some of the players, like Lauber for example, do that every now and then. Generally speaking though, most of the time you're better off with other heroes, and especially on this map, I don't really see the point too much, because if you're doing that on Infernal Shrine, it's a bit of a different story. That is a beautiful setup on the other hand. Damn son. Baby Houdini, honestly, what he can do with his tongue is amazing. Like, that is an easy kill against Sonya, and that drag was just fantastic. If you guys still remember Sugar Daddy 69, if I didn't know better, then I would say that one of his smurfs is Baby Houdini, because he's doing it again. Like, Morena's is just on the run and the globe saved his ass, so that would have been another kill. So, this guy is just incredible. You gotta love it. So, well, at this point, we got the fish moving down to the bottom of the map. Top side, Dehaka is controlling everything. And, yeah, they're going for the camps now too. So, that's a solid start into the game. And I guess Team Arthas, they learned their first lesson in this game. It's just like, yeah, stay away from that Dehaka. Just stay away from that boy. He is a little bit too much. That guy has skills, you know? At least Lucio's enjoying himself. At level 1 for also Jimmy. In this case, it's the ace in the hole. I talked about it a bit earlier. But now Dehaka is coming in again. Yeah, and the drag connects. They go for Renella. Push him into a corner, but Team. The kill against Lucio. There's this lurking arm and the double kill. Make it a triple. Typical case of, guys, let's try. If we win the team fight, it's going to be great for us. Unfortunately for them, they lost this one. Yeah, big plays coming out there. I mean, as you can tell, there was some easy win after Stukov really set this up. Renella was initially targeted, and if Renella dies on Stukov, it's a whole different game. But that lurking arm towards the end, that secured them easy kills, and now it's 3 kills against 1. They have taken the camp. That's a lead. That's also a Dragonite. Perfect timing here. It's a bit of a disaster. Team, honestly, Inting for Ruby, they just gambled. They gambled a little bit. They said, guys, if we win that fight, if we steal that camp, we have momentum in our hands, we can make the play, and they just couldn't get it done. They got 1 kill, but not more than that. Now we got the Lurker Strain in even on level 4, the Mercenary Queen after starting with the Overwhelming Affliction, as they're pushing the top lane with Sylvanas, the bot lane, as they're pushing the top lane. At the bottom of the map, we got the Dragonite in. Sylvanas is now rotating down here too to try and help out. But it doesn't change the fact that they're level behind, and a lot of these structures have already been opened up. So Team Arthas is continuing the momentum from game number 1 into game number 2 and doing what they can over here. It's a very, very solid approach into the game. So yeah, nicely done. It's just too much to see on the other side. And honestly, initially, it didn't really look too bad. They were trying to control the space around the camp, not only with Lucio and his boop back, but also, of course, Dehaka with the lurking arm, and Dehaka with a tongue, and Mind Talk with his mine. So Junkrat nearly helped them to steal the camp away, and then it could have retreated or looked if maybe fighting for it was worth it. But now that we're having Hogger and Sonya up, as I already mentioned during the draft, camps are going to be taken over and over again by Team Arthas. We have an easy time to securing them. And I pointed during the draft out the bottom camp in particular, and we can already see it pay some dividends here for Team Arthas. There needs to be a reaction from Inting for Ruby, and they're sending now some of their heroes down to try and defend this. But with a 3-man push, this is going to result in damage. It's not really so much about taking the fort down. If you can, you will. But just taking the fountain is a huge step. It's one of the most important things when you're playing on Dragonshire, because now there's just no sustain any longer on the lane for the red teams. That's a huge deal here. Top side, even trying to make a play for Sylvanas. Yeah, there's the wave. Gets attacked immediately. Had to slow down, but is able to get away. Definitely gets a... I mean, honestly, has he missed one? Like, has he missed one of those tongs? It's kind of crazy. 100% success rate with a tong. Nicely done, baby Houdini. I mean, he's incredible. The moves. Ah, there we go. Now we got a little bit too greedy. Finally. Finally, we're going to let that slide. Didn't see that, guys. You didn't see that. He's still at 100%. Legend has it. Legend has it. He hasn't missed a tong yet to this day. Or at least that's what she said. 3 kills to 1, and of course still the slight lead in experience over here. Team Arthas still looking good. They have the lead in XP, but they've taken some of the structures down. It's not really... I mean, again, Inting for Ruby could bring it back. This isn't hopeless or anything. But we'll see what else they can do here. So now, oh, the fish missing this completely. Trying for the stun, but they dodged it nicely. Yeah, Baby Houdini is joining the fight in the middle of the map again. Down at the bottom, we have at least one additional shrine taken by Junkrat. Sonya's trying to go to the top to make sure that there's no DK for Inting for Ruby. But they're trying at least here. So they're starting to make the play for it. There's another drag, and Mei is so mesmerized by it that she might actually fall. Yeah, there's the kill. Mei is down. Naughty, naughty girl. Okay. Quick kill against Mei. Double control at least on the shrines, so it's not a Dragonite that's kicking in, but both of the teams now have their level 10 abilities. And with that we get the Shockwave. We also have the mind control again. The wall is up, and in this case Sonya doesn't go for leap as we've seen now in multiple matches, but instead we're getting the Wrath of the Berserker again. And yeah, gotta say, looking good here. Honestly, Baby Houdini and Dehaka, his success rate on that is crazy. And he's the one that really helped them in a lot of the team fights. But of course, now it's all about the fights here in the middle of the map. So they're going for it again. Here comes Fish with a stun attempt. They don't connect it. The wall is up, and they hit one. Do they follow up on it? No. Well, actually they do. They do. They were trying with Stukov here. Killing and Junkrat would have been amazing for them. And up at the top, the real battle begins. Baby Houdini! Ah, he missed the isolation. Then again, who needs isolation when you're the master of tongues? But apparently in this case, it's not really working out for him. Yeah, he has to give it up. The problem is he's getting swamped now. Guys, they really want him. They really do. Hat is here, trying to help out. Dragonite, he's getting another drag. The DK is about to be taken, interrupted. And that's the end of it, Dehaka. I have no idea what caused that ragdoll to fly like pretty much throughout the entire screen. I don't think the physics of that thing are really well thought out. But now we got the DK in the middle of the map, and that's of course another opportunity for Team Arthas to get structural damage in and murder them a bit. Yeah, by now we got 4 kills to 2. And things are starting to get out of control just a little bit. Nice, that's the Unstoppable. The wall is in, but didn't hit anybody. Now, Sonya's still at the top and can secure the experience. An early level 13 would, of course, also help with the talent advantage. He could try and force the fight and play with the lead. But we also have the bot lane still to consider, and that one has taken tons of damage already. Fish is trying to get out. There's no virulent reaction yet for Stukov, and that honestly limits his option a bit when he comes into these fights. But once that he has that, it's going to be a different story. So now there's 2 forts that are very, very low, and not a single lane holds a fountain anymore, which is fantastic for Team Arthas. and they're taking more camps. They have the Virulent Reaction now on level 13. The Giddy Up is in, and with this camp, they should be able to take the fort. Yeah, the Hogger and Sonya setup is doing so much work here in map control terms. They're controlling everything. They're controlling the camps, they're stealing it away whenever they can. They have 2 heroes that are just excelling at it. So while one team is pretty much committing 3 heroes to a hard camp like this, the other has no problems just sending one of their side laners towards it and then taking it there. That was a nice mine though. They're trying to open this up. Shockwave is out, and Junkrat comes in with the damage, but we also have the bunker up at this point. Fish is helping the team here. The push is still ongoing, and so far nobody has fallen yet, but the wall is taking some damage. We got 13 talents against 13, so while we have more structural damage coming through from Team Arthas, they still haven't taken a mad lead or anything. But the fight is again happening. So they're going for the Haka. Yeah, but first they go for Lucio. And Lucio is down. This time we have the Haka coming through with another drag, but it's not resulting in any kills for them. Instead, they're losing Blaze. Now Het is nearly falling. I mean, it all depended on the Spear Connect. That didn't happen. There's the mind control into the tower range. No way! Het, no, not like this. He nearly got the Sonya kill. Sonya was down to 30 HP. That's just sad. That is honestly just sad. It would have been so nice. Even if he dies in the process, getting that kill against Sonya would have been neat. But of course, in this spot, yeah, it's just not happening. 7 kills against 2. Level lead. Chance for another Dragon Knight now. Sonya is dealing with the top here. And all the way up on the top side, Mind Talk. I mean, again, he gets some reinforcements, but he's not the only one. Because here comes Dog. Oh, the wall! The wall! Donnie would be proud. Yeah, still a kill against Sonya. The rest of the team didn't rotate in quickly enough. And all of a sudden, there's another dragon. Of course he connects it. Why do we even ask? The follow-up is there. Big shove attempt, but another stun. And Renella is gonna die. Yep, you can run, baby. Can't hide. He goes down. Inting for Ruby. Look at that. All of a sudden, they're showing some teeth here. And now we got, first of all, Het down here, taking the control again. They're trying to make a play for Stalk at the same time. Shockwave connecting only with 1. And Stalk gets booped out. Okay, that was unexpected. But there's the Dragon Knight. Inting for Ruby, everybody. Inting for Ruby is all of a sudden in possession of an objective and can push with it. And the top fort has fallen. They're starting to tie this up a little bit. We're not quite there yet, but if they can take another fort down, that's a different story. Morenas gets an ass kicking on Hogger, and everybody else is now starting to move straight into the mid lane. We had the level 16 talents, of course, that gives us the elongated tongue as if it needed. Yeah, he doesn't need that one. I don't know why he picks that. Totally useless. You know, lesser plebs, they might need this. But this is just easy mode, honestly. This is just going easy mode. I don't really know why the Haka is going for that, because if he has already shown one thing, his tongue is like a homing missile. He doesn't miss the mark. Therefore, going for that talent, no. Not needed. Baby Houdini. Yeah, he's a magician, for sure. Either way, jokes aside, we got the camp taken again, of course, within seconds because of the 2 side laners. And they try to go for Mind Talk, but yeah, is he gonna get away? Oh, he dodges nearly everything, but yeah, not quite. It was a good attempt. A bit of a juke master moment here, but it wasn't good enough to dodge out on all of the damage. And once they connect, at least one of the abilities is pretty much lights out for him. So for now, we got the bot lane also attacked, so they're gonna get some value here. Lucio is trying to make something work, but he gets hit by the shockwave. They want him, but they don't get him. Damn, son. They really, really want him. But they can't stop him. Can't stop, won't stop, baby. Yeah, 8 kills against 4, but look at experience. All of a sudden, we're dead even on this one. It's kind of funny. It's honestly kind of funny what we're seeing here. It's 8 kills to 4. It looked for a long time like Team Arthas would lock in an easy victory. Now they lost 2 of their forts. And the one in the middle is also in trouble. So This is an interesting game. Inting for Ruby is making this work. And I'm quite impressed by it. Junkrat with a 34,000 damage. Dehaka 90,000 siege damage. Easily top in the game. Yeah, but here comes the push at the bottom. The problem is that Team Arthas is pretty much winning the team fights. So whenever it comes to like these 5 versus 5 battles, Team Arthas is just doing a little bit better. And yeah, that is an issue in the long run. Especially as the death timers increase. So, well, let's go. There we have it. The Tong is in again. Mind control even. Mei is down. They are taking it. The bunker is up. And they're looking for another kill. Coming through for Denado. Yeah. There's Dehaka. Oh, big shove. But that Tong is waiting. That Tong is waiting. Yeah. They went for the easy kill against Dukov. I would have loved for him to just turn it around and go there. Bottom of the map, by the way, this is still a bit of an issue, but as we're talking about structural damage, at the top side we're seeing a similar picture, because over here we have the wall also more or less destroyed on the Bridge of Death. But now that 2 heroes are down for the blue team, it seems like Inting for Ruby is just saying, you know what, boys, we're going to take this one. Another Dragonite for the red team. There's a chance that they're going to hit that one. They might win this game. They're looking better and better as the game continues. I am very much so surprised. But as it keeps scaling, they have what it takes. Dragonite is in. This time Blaze is in the decay, which of course means that they can still use Dehaka for the Tong. It's all that matters here. And the Fort doesn't stand a chance. Fort gets murdered within a moment. Like, no opportunity. So, off we go. Bot lane, that's the next target, because you can always get that camp escorted in. Yeah, right now, not even half a level until they have level 20. They might get level 20 together with this. The Haka is already sitting in the wings here. But the Dragonite gets burned down very, very quickly. Jimmy can help out even without Exterminator. He is, in terms of damage output, very solid. And of course, as the slows kick in, nice, they're catching Lulcio, but they can't do anything with it. So now we got the Contagion already in. Plus Fortified Bunker and the Dark Lady's Call. They are level 20 for both teams in just a flash, but Team Arthas is definitely having a lot more trouble than they expected here. That is kind of shitty. How does the Steel Trap catch Reyna's Raiders? How does that work? I mean, explain that to me. Like, that thing is flying. It's flying! That's some sick tech on the Steel Trap. I think Elon designed that one. If he jumps up and just simply like traps the entire thing here. Yeah, talking about trapping things, there's the wall. Alright, they try to go for the Haka. Bad move, boys. Bad move. That's the wrong target to focus. Dark Lady's Call. Yeah, the Haka has to pop the essence as they're coming in again. Hits the Contagion. Yeah, against 3. They're all moving away here and they're getting out, but they're getting pressured now. Not just a little bit. Okay, party time. At this point, we got the bot lane pushing a bit more. 8 kills to 6. 20 on both sides, and the red team is trying to get out. Yeah, the mind control. Hogger! He's poking out, and he gets away. The fight is not over by any means, though, and Hogger might still be the one to fall. He's super low, but Dehaka, no! Dehaka died first. It's over, boys. Dehaka is down. Our hero has fallen. I don't think they can pull it off, though. Yeah, Sonya is dead. Bot lane, by the way, is taking more and more damage. That keep is getting wrecked. And they might lose it. The fight continues. They're just going for the battle over and over again. Hogger with a big poke. Yeah, he's gonna poke too much. And he's dead. So is the keep at the bottom of the map. Inting for Ruby. This is the first match in the second half of the season, and they are already doing so much better than they did in season 1. Sorry, in the first half. And now they go for another Dragonite. And of course, the blue team need to try and interrupt it. Everybody is still low on the red team. That's the problem. And it forces Blaze to bunker up too. He doesn't stand a chance there if he doesn't. But there's Sylvanas at least. They're trying for this one. But it's rough. 10 seconds until Sonya is back, and here's the Dragonite. And they're gonna try and end with this. It's crazy. Honestly, it's kind of nice cheering for the underdog here a little bit. Team Arthas, they came into this as the, as definitely the favorite, even though I gotta admit that Team Arthas didn't have the best first half of the season. The first 7 playdays didn't really go all that well for them. But Inting for Ruby continuously improving. It was always the question, do they at any point improve to the level where they can take a match? And even winning maps is still a bit of a success story for them. But here, they have a chance. They go for the second keep, by the way. They're not even making a play for the core. With 5 heroes still up for Team Arthas, they're just saying, guys, get keep number 2. We can play the macro, get keep number 2 here. And they get it. They got Sylvanas, they got the Dragonite, and they make the play. Can they get some kills, though? We still have, of course, Hat with the Dark Lady's Call, and he throws his ult out like it's candy. Whenever he has another chance, wall is up and gets dodged. Yeah, but they got Baby Houdini. They got him. They got him. He's down. That's the kill. That's the kill. Everybody's trying to escape. Lucio is empowering them a bit, but of course, Team Arthas is now on the move. They are trying to chase them down. There's so many camps up on the map, too. They can take all of those mercenaries. Easy peasy. We are honestly blessed today with the matches. First, we had this insane series between the Hardos and Team Soundless. And now we're looking at Team Arthas against Inting for Ruby, also going down to the wire. Decent game number 2. Game number 1 was a bit more of a blowout, honestly. And Inting for Ruby struggled heavily there, but this is a very, very different ballgame. No matter who wins this one, this is clutch. 10 kills to 8. They're still making the play here. Hat gets attacked, but not locked down by Stukov. 68,000 damage by Junkrat now. Another wall, trapping the catapult. Mission accomplished. But they're getting chased again. And of course, the Haka's going to be back in 7 seconds. He can always tunnel behind you. Yeah, another one. Oh, ho, ho! May? Yeah, they got dangerous for a moment. She slides away. Is the Haka? Yeah, it tunnels up to the top. Man on a mission. But he's not going for it. But have you seen this? Yep. Blue team needs to win. They need to win a fight. Guys, they nearly have no structures left. And that's the end of Denado. That might be the end of the game. With the top keep about to fall and another Dragonite activating, you can either wait for the DK or they can just go for the kills here. They go again for Stalk. He's in trouble. This is a win. This is a win. Junkrat down, May down, and Hoga with a big boy poke. But Morenas dies. Morenas is dead, and the core is gonna be attacked in a second. They're going for it. This is a victory for Inting for Ruby. They are taking one in their first... They take another map in their first match at the second half of the season. They are making it happen again. They take a map of a direct competitor as they're going off against Team Arthas. 12 kills, 2-11. And they're going for the 5-man team wipe as they drop Stukov and lock in another map win. Inting for Ruby, once again successful at our Heroes of the Storm tournament. Nicely done, GG. They take the W on Dragonshire. Game on, Inting for Ruby. They did it again, everybody. Yeah, here we go. We got our Zarya banned out on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's the map choice of the red team now. It's really a map that they like to play. I mean, to an extent where they even picked it against the Hardos, which is in and of itself kind of insane. But it's kind of cool to now see this coming up here. It was honestly always amazing when like an underdog team that comes into, you know, like the season and all of a sudden starts to gain some momentum for themselves is able to improve. And I'm not sure if they can take the entire series against Team Arthas. Of course they're gonna try, but just seeing them win maps more reliably is a pretty cool thing. So it's kind of fun. Now, we currently have the Lucio ban out. We also see continuously Phoenix ban, so it's just one of those preference picks of the blue team that they want to get rid of as much as they can, and they are apparently not willing to face off against that at all. Now, that leaves a lot of heroes still up for pickings. I mean, Uther is still up for a potential pick. You have also Chromie that we have to think about here. There's a lot. They banned Genji instead. I can already tell you that Inting for Ruby is hoping to get Uther, but it's not happening. Stalk picks it immediately. And it doesn't surprise me because, as I said, now you have so much material on your opponent that you can scout a little bit before you go up against them and really see what are their preference picks, what do they like to play. And the one thing that is true about Inting for Ruby is that whenever they get a chance to pick Uther, it's the first thing they do. They've been doing it for ages. Like even before other teams jumped on the Uther bandwagon. So now we got Stukov claimed and Sonya. But that Uther first pick for Stork doesn't surprise me at all. That was more or less a given, so yeah. But we got the double pick now coming up for the blue team. So what are they gonna go for? Because right now, here comes our Sylvanas. We get Cassia, okay, so the damage dealers are set. And they already have an opportunity with Sylvanas to push this a little bit further. And just ensure that they're going to, well, empower the push with the web viewers, for example, power any kind of mercenary camp. Whenever they get a team fight victory and are able to drop a few, they can always use Sylvanas to help take those structures down and have an easy push on whatever lane. So, always a dangerous pick. Ana gets banned. No banana strategies over here. With Uther as the main tank, you of course are guaranteed to see a double support at least. And Blaze gets banned. Yeah, Fish. After last match, they don't want to go up against Blaze here. There's also a map that depends a little bit more on the wave clear, so I honestly like Blaze more here than I do on Dragon Shower. But then again, I also gotta admit, I just generally don't... I'm not really a Blaze main tank fan. But it worked well for them. They did well with it. So, double pick. Baby Houdini with Dehaka on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I doubt that's gonna happen. Map is just simply too small for it. Instead, we get Diva, who is as usual playing to win. Fish is playing Inuburak. And off we go. So, what else? We got our double pick over here. And that is going to set us up. So, who's going to take it now? What are we going to get as the main healer, first of all? And also, we still need a side laner. Someone to deal with Diva. Auriel and Leo. Okay, it's getting spicy. We get a Leo on the side lane and we get Auriel together with Uther. Coming in with the whip, everybody. Yeah, there's Hat as the last pick. What is he gonna get? Hat coming in. And again, they could take the lead here. If they win down to the Spider Queen, they have the lead all of a sudden. Well, that's kind of cool. And he goes for Orphea. Schoolgirl is in. Alright, guys, let's go. Game number 3 coming up. We got Team Arthas going up against Inting for Ruby on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Game number 3. The series is tied. We are on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and on the left side, we got Uther. Our boy made it finally into a game. Stork playing the hero here. As we look at Denado on Leo, we got Morenas on Cassia, Renella on Auriel, and Kodjam is playing Sylvanas. On the right side of the map, the Fish on Inuburak, we got Hat on Sonya, Mindtalk on Orphea, and Nox is playing as Stukov in the game with Baby Houdini on Diva. Okay, let's get this party started and see if Inting for Ruby can win a second map and take the lead here. Now, the blue team is going to have very, very different plans. They are fully aware that this is a series that they need to win if they want to have any opportunity to make it a little bit higher in the rankings. They're currently rank 6, and Inting for Ruby is on rank 8. So if at any point Team Arthas wants to start to move upwards a little bit, this is a match that they definitely have to win. They can't lose that. It just can't happen. But on the other hand, you got Inting for Ruby just continuously improving, and of course they want to have the first match victory. It was kind of awesome to see when they won their first map, they literally celebrated. Like, they had a thing where the admin was saying like, hey guys, you guys need to pick your map and everything, and the captain of the team just came in and was like, yeah, we need a moment, we're celebrating in Discord right now. It took them quite a while until they won the first map, but it was kind of funny, and now they are of course locking more and more of those in. And yeah, it's pretty awesome to just see that, and the improvement of those guys is crazy. Now again, they still have a long way to go, and they need to stick with it for a long time if they really want to get to a level where they can continuously threaten some of those top 8 teams, but they are definitely learning a lot here. And in this case also learning that Hat needs to retreat a little bit earlier or he's gonna die. They're hoping for the counter kill, but they can't get that. Nice whip into the wall against Mind Talk. Bit of an aggressive style again. It's exactly what you would expect, of course, from the Russian team in blue. Also, again guys, quick reminder, if you're currently watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button on the video. It helps to promote it a little bit and helps the channel. And also, YouTube activated a new feature on the channel, which is, I think, called the applause feature or something like that. So you can applaud a video right now, which is kind of cool if you want to support it. So underneath the player, you should have a new button there. So always appreciate it if people want to support the videos and if that's, for example, one that you like and enjoyed a lot. In the game, we currently got our level 4 talents, and Team Arthas, as so often, has the slightly earlier talent tier. But again, it's the late game that really matters the most. And the macro style that was played by Inting for Ruby on the last one was pretty solid. So over here, we got on the level 4. Now, first of all, the Neil Peasants. Also, Renewal came in as the level 1 talent, so it's a little bit more self-sustained than you would normally have there. Also for the fights later, and it helps a bit when the trade is active, of course, too. 1 kill against 0. They're trying to go for Denado, but they can't really drop anything there. Same time now. Here's the quick hit into the mid lane, and they nearly got ahead again. Not quite. It's a bit of a brawly setup. As I said before, the teams are really looking for those fights now. And especially Team Arthas, they want to have these battles. Now, nobody turned in any gems yet. I mean, like, nothing. No gems were turned in so far. Both of the teams still have lots of opportunities. We got a slight gem advantage even for Inting for Ruby. And now they go for Uther, and Stork is still alive. The double support saving his ass. Damn. Yeah, that could have very, very quickly resulted in his death. But thanks to Oriel and Uther both going like ham on the keyboard, that worked out nicely. So, job well done. There down here is the next attempt as they're going for Ophia. Take the kill. Nice. Team Arthas. Well done. And the fish goes down too. Okay, job well done here. Honestly, it's also a little bit of a weird setup, of course, now, because we have a situation in which Inting for Ruby just took a map, but we kind of have to also talk a bit about, again, that there's 2 players that have just now been swapped in. So, Skilla and Bishops are both out of the team, so that means that you're now all of a sudden playing with a different 5-man. That might have some advantages for you, that might have some disadvantages for you, but it means that to find perfect synergy, you will need a little bit more time, more scrims, more plays here. So that might be one of the reasons why sometimes the synergy is maybe a little bit off on the side of the blue team. That could play a factor here as well of why Inting for Ruby was so successful on the second map. I suppose the rest of the series is going to show where we're headed there. And of course, eventually Team Arthas also will have to make a decision if letting Skilla and Bishops go was really the right choice, or if they would have been better off in the first season. But as I already said during the first half of the season here, they probably were pretty disappointed with the results that they got. They can't have been too happy about it. Now, at least on map number 3, it seems like Team Arthas is finding back to the momentum that they enjoyed in game number 1. As you can see, they have the first Web Weaver wave, and thanks to Sylvanas, they're already putting in the pain up at the top in the mid lane. So that's some serious structural damage that we've already seen here. At the bottom of the map, yeah, there we got it. Another quick push for the wall and maybe also the fort. And that's especially hitting the top lane hard, because they abandoned this completely. This is an insane first objective. I mean, damn. That's a fort down, wall and fountain destroyed in the middle, and the wall destroyed at the bottom of the map. With objective number 1. That's a bit crazy. And look over to the stacks for Cassia. Cassia is at 47. We're not even 6 minutes into the game, and Cassia has 47 stacks already. That is crazy. If they can keep that up, that momentum train is hitting hard. And they're even getting the second fort, aren't they? Holy shit. 2 forts down and the level 10. And the red web beavers, I am not so sure about that turn-in. I question that turn-in a lot. I understand that well, Nah, no, it's fine. Also, honestly, now that I think about it, it was actually pretty good. As long as they get level 10 and they soak a bit more experience for level 10 when the Web Weavers come down, it's not bad. Because that allowed them to sneak it in, but they need to get their level 10 as quickly as possible. Because if Team Arthas has any time to defend with level 10 while it doesn't exist for Inting for Ruby, it would have been pretty bad. But that timing worked out perfectly, so it was actually a pretty sneaky move. With them having control over the top lane and D.Va pushing 2 waves out, that was on point. But moves like this can backfire if you mistime it. So now we have 3 kills to 0, but an opportunity at least to fight back. They're trying to go for Sylvanas, the big jump, and they get the kill. And the Nubarak is trying to set a second one up against Oriel. Yeah, good for him. If the stun connects, that's the end. Oriel, the Divine Shield, you gotta be kidding me. All the work done, and then the Divine Shield. Aegis is out, the explosion, and there's the kill. Orphea takes it. They're trying to go for the fort now. Another stun, and oh my god. The chomp, chomp, chomp. Stalk is dead too. A double kill coming in at the end of the fight. And they got a fort with this push too. Now they're trying to go for Denado. He has 20 gems now. Pops the Horse's Renewal and is able to make his way out of harm. Well, actually. Yeah, even if he dies, they're going to get the gems. But damn, Inting for Ruby just stepped it up big time. Look at that. The kills at the top. That was kill number 3 and number 4. It's 4 kills each now. And Hat can turn in the couple of gems that they had. But I was honestly afraid that the blue team would completely snowball it here. But instead, Inting for Ruby turned up the heat a little bit and started to murder. And now they got the second Web Weaver wave coming down. To be fair, they haven't done as much structural damage yet as Team Arthas did. But there's definitely a chance for them to remedy that fact. They are already pushing the bot lane, and they're pushing it hard. And should be able, with the Web Weavers, to get the fort here too. So, yeah, 50 stacks now for Cassia. Her progress slowed down significantly after I called out the 47 stacks. I think it took him more than 2 minutes to get another 3 stacks here. There's the Cocoon, the internal chomp. Aegis is out, and yeah, they can't get the kill here. Instead we got now Leo coming in. Is he going to be able to drop an Entomb? No, but D.Va is down. D.Va got caught, and they're moving back already. And the Red Web Weavers, they haven't done anything. I mean, stopped in the mid lane, stopped at the top lane. Both of the lanes were pushed out too much by Team Arthas. So the structure lead still goes to the blue team. Team Arthas, they're building their temple. Brick by brick. Slowly but steadily. 13 talents are now available for both sides too. And on the damage side, we got 34,000. They go again for Cassia. Stun. And the Divine Shield even. And Cassia is just firing away the Lightning Furies. But there's a lot of abilities that have to be dropped here. The Entomb hits, but the problem is they can't do anything with it. And instead it's Leo that falls, and he had 23 gems. So those gems are down the drain. Guys, I gotta say, Inting for Ruby, they are really starting to find their stride here. I mean, damn. Think about how this started. This started with an objective for Team Arthas that allowed them to take 2 forts down and a wall, which is crazy. If you're taking 1 fort, you're happy. Taking 2 is nuts. And now, instead of the blue team just running away with this, what we're seeing is the red team fighting back, getting kills, and starting to really work it. Now, they have 1 additional turn-in that they already had, and it didn't really do a whole lot for them, so that's a bit of a problem. But thanks to the kill against Leo, they also stole 20 gems away from the opponent. 64 stacks for Cassia worries me a bit as the game continues to end up being a massive brawl. But they're trying to turn it as Leo comes in with the Entomb again. But this time the schoolgirl is down. Nice. Orphea is dead. And baby Houdini again on the run. The slappity slap from Nox as they're creating some space. The D.Va explosion obviously doing the same. So it forces them back. Nearly level 60 now. But you can tell that Team Arthas is having way more trouble with this game than they expected. They are taking the lead again, but it's always, honestly at this point it always feels like one fight, one bad move, one greedy play, and all of a sudden Inting for Ruby is back. Yeah, that one missed though. Stalk rode that pleb horse Out of the way. Denado, he wants that Entomb, doesn't he? Yeah, but level 16, if they can wait for that, that would of course even be better. 72 stacks now for Cassia. 11 minutes into the game. Yeah, not shabby. She's gonna have serious damage towards the end of the game. I mean, she already has serious damage. She's sitting at 48,000. That's an easy top damage position for her. Nobody else is even close. Not even a little bit. I mean, next one up would be Orphea, who's sitting at 33,000. And here come the blue web weavers. That's the second one for her. So here we go. There's the push for keeps now. And if you get that Entomb, nah, not here. Not against those two. You're not gonna get anything done if you're trapping your Nubarak. He's just gonna burrow charge out. And nothing's gonna happen. Mid lane, it's a different story. If you open the wall up and you get a quick hit against Orphea or someone, then maybe. What the hell is that? Not like this! No! 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 Not that shit! Debilitation over Epicenter. Fish, we need to talk. Fish, we need to talk. That is not... No. Just no. No, 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 no. Uther goes down. Debilitation over the Epicenter here. Orphea dies on the other side. And they're trying to go for another kill against D.Va too. But yeah, that is a horrific talent. That talent is just a huge bait from Blizzard all the freaking time. No, 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 no. Epicenter. It's in the name. Epic enter. Epically entering the opponent's backline, wreaking havoc and killing people. No debilitation. Debilitation sounds like you need to visit the hospital and need to stay there for a while. Nah, 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 nah. Anyways, they are wrecking the top now. They open up the wall, the first one, and Nubarak has to jump out. Yeah, they might even lose the keep here. I mean, it depends. It's 5 versus 5 again. Don't have a talent advantage. They're actually playing it safe. But look at the stacks also for Cassia. She's at 98. We're 13 minutes into the game. 13 minutes into the game, and she's nearly at 100. So, yeah. I mean, it feels like they think, hey, they got a double support, let's go debilitation over here. But no, honestly, I give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm like, all right, that's a misclick. That's just a misclick. Yeah, he misclicked. He misclicked. Don't make my head hurt more than it need to. 103 stacks. I mean, damn son, Morenas is wrecking it. Absolutely wrecking it. There's the Divine Shield. Cocoon is out too, though. They try to go for the kill on Cassia. That's a bit of damage in. Nice Entomb, but Denado might fall. Yeah, he might fall after all. The double support keeps him alive a bit longer. 106 stacks now for Morena's Cassia. And we're only 14 minutes into the game. Bot lane gets pressure too. So there's that. And, well, over here, we still got the play. Straight up for the next camp. I don't think they can take this. The choke point should be easily controlled by the team in blue now. Yeah, well, actually, there's a kill. They're trying to push through the choke point. That's going to be rough, especially against the ball of lightning over here. So the Cassia kill comes through, and now they're pushing, of course, straight up for the key, because with Sylvana still in play, they can make this one happen. And Nox is so low, he nearly dies too. He dodges out on the last Lightning Fury, and there's that. Okay, so same time now. Push in the middle, push at the bottom. One keep down, second one about to fall. And off we go. Yeah, that's the second keep about to fall. So now we have not only 2 keeps down, we also have a level 20 on the horizon for Team Arthas, and that's a chance to end the game. I mean, just look at what's happening at the bottom of the map. The Siege Giants alone are already taking aim at the core. They don't have the level 20, so they're falling back, but they can literally move towards the boss and then try to end the game. Because the top lane, as you already guessed, is also incredibly low. And they are still sitting tight, trying to defend here. And this is just going to be too quick. 97,000 damage for Team Arthas Cassia. 130 stacks now. Honestly, if that game continues, if they can't end with the boss, then he is going to threaten Dainu's record. Dainu has a pretty insane record here. Well, let's go. There's also straight up the Burning Despair, and we got the Redemption in. But yeah, they have the level 20, they have the boss, 16 minutes into the game. I think Dino's record is at 160 on a Volskaya Foundry game. But with 130, Morena's is dangerously close. And that game didn't even last, has maybe lasted half of what Skya Foundry game lasted. So yeah, if that game continues longer, he's going to wreck even more. Not if he dies though. So Cassia's down, and honestly with the Web Weavers now helping with the defense, that's going to be the end of this attack. So that game is definitely going to last longer. The comeback is still possible for Inting for Ruby. All keeps down, so I'll call it unlikely, but technically it's still an option. Now we got Denado moving down to the bottom of the map. And, well, let's have a bit of a look of what's going on with the defense here, because the Web Weavers are so far back that they might not even have to put in a lot of effort to drop them. Even with Cassia gone, that might not be an issue, because, I mean, look at the top lane. That one is not going to make anything happen. At the bottom of the map, this is about to fall too. Those Web Weavers just don't have any of the momentum that they need. The lanes were pushed out so heavily, and they needed help with the defense on the boss. They at least got the fort in the middle. They might be able to collapse down to the bottom of the map and take another one down. But even with all of the forts eliminated, it still means that you have keeps on the other side up against you, whereas you don't have a single structure anymore. So even if you're just trying to play macro around the next boss and you siege up on the top side, you're going to be in a great spot here. Stukov hasn't died yet. He got close earlier. A single Lightning Fury would have ended him, but he's still up. Now, Cassia has joined the 6-digit club. She's the first member. Very exclusive club, by the way. Very, very exclusive club when we're talking about the competitive level. 102,000 damage now for her. And she's going to come into the next team fight swinging. Now, we got the Ball of Lightning, as I already mentioned earlier. So that one's in. And the Redemption, so even harder to kill them. Yeah, okay, there's a little bit more damage now against Nubarak. Dives into the back line, didn't epically enter it though, because he went for debilitation. The fish gets caught for just a moment by Leo's Entomb, who did not upgrade. Yeah, instead they're trying to... they're chasing them towards the core. Like, literally, the entire setup is just them chasing them towards the core. And the red team is saying, like, guys, fall back, fall back. The last moment defense, the last stand. The Helm's Clum of the Nexus. Yeah, they're trying to do what they can. The final stand as the hordes of the blue team are pushing in for victory. 57 gems though, tell the tale. Seems like we're gonna get another Web Weaver wave for Team Arthas. They have the gems now that they need, and that wave should end the game. And now 19 minutes into it, so it's definitely scaling a little bit better. And, well, off we go. So, here comes the push and the Web Weavers. Top lane, bot lane. Look at the difference. These are already pushed out, and catapults are hurting now. So there's a triple catapult at the bottom of the map, and those alone are already going to wreck this. So if the blue team just keeps them busy long enough and those catapults end up at the core, that could literally just end the game. I mean, bot lane, a fourth catapult is now coming in, and if they are now pressuring through here, this is an easy one for them. Nobody is dealing with that, by the way. That's 3 catapults, 4th one coming in, and Web Weavers. And if those make it to the core, which they will easily, then that's a disaster. If the next minion wave spawns, just take it down here. They're already poking against the core a little bit. But that bot lane is gonna murder. You just have to take the minion wave out that's now gonna come in. There's already the Cocoon. They're trying for the quick kill. They want Cassia. But here's the Aegis. 144 stacks. Infinite lightning. And the double entomb. No, Nox is dead. He was the only one that didn't die until now. He's dead. Leo is dead. And so are the hopes and dreams of Inting for Ruby to win game number 3. The core is falling. So is Anubarak. Sylvanas and Leo are down. But that should still be the end of it. Yeah, only D.Va, and she won't be able to defend. It's only the 2 supports that are still alive, but the catapults are, of course, chucking in damage. And this is going to be the end and the lead for Team Arthas in the best of 5 series here. GG, and well played as Team Arthas locks in a 2-1 lead against Inting for Ruby. Game number 4, Infernal Shrines. This time it was the map choice of Inting for Ruby, so they decided that after the loss on map number 3, they didn't want to go for first pick, but instead decided that map pick is what they were aiming for, and they are playing Infernal Shrines now. So, Team Arthas is starting to get ahead in the series again. I have to admit that it's not quite as solid on their end as you might expect, so there could be multiple reasons for it. Either it's really Inting for Ruby just getting slowly better and better and making it harder for the teams that they go up against, or it's really the fact that 2 of the players were switched out on the blue team and that they still haven't really found their rhythm yet. I don't know how much they really practice as a 5-man unit, so that's that. Anyways, now that we're heading into map number 4, the first thing that you see happening is that Uther gets banned. Yeah, him being played in on the last map was a bit of a thing. Kind of funny when Uther makes it through these days. But there's the Mei ban as well, so once again we're looking at a potential pick into Chromie. Hogger is taken, and now I would still expect Sonya to be claimed on the other side. And that's something where Inting for Ruby has actually dropped the ball a bit in one of the earlier maps. And have not picked her. Now that you're on Infernal Shrines, should be a Sonya pick, and yep, there we got it. So, Sonya's in, and we get Sylvanas. Okay, so at least a good start there. But Chromie being up is also a bit of an issue. The poke damage that she has from a distance is always insanely annoying. And in most other games, she would have been picked already. So with teams like Team Arthas and Inting for Ruby, you never really know, okay, do they have a player that really wants to play her? Have they practiced with that at all? You see a similar thing happening a lot with Medivh, for example. Medivh is always one of those guys that gets just like picked in every game, then banned, and all of a sudden teams are trying to not ban him anymore, see if they can get away with. And it's like one of those perfect examples where heroes always like moves in and out of the ban meta at least. Genji, they really don't like Genji anymore, do they now? After, it was a Dragonshire game, I think, right? So yeah, after that happened, they just decided that they don't want to go up against Genji either. They have, of course, still that Phoenix ban, that is definitely a target ban, where they just said, yeah, that's not happening in this entire series. No matter what else is going on, that Phoenix is going to be eliminated. And it's more or less true now for Genji too, after the Dragonshire game happened. And Ragnaros gets banned. Yeah, they played a lot with Ragnaros. The thing is that Inting for Ruby is the only team that when they play Ragnaros, they're not going for the Khaldor style with a blast wave, which pretty much everybody else that uses Ragnaros plays too, but instead they're going always full meatball, which is always awkward. But in this case, I mean, honestly, like right now, Team Arthas is just saying, you know what? No. Whatever else you want to play is fine, but not that. And with an Ana and Malthael pick, it already seems quite obvious that we're going to see, I mean, at least potentially, Tormented Souls plus Nano Boost. Leaves us with a fish on the main tank, but that gives us, of course, the 2 bruisers again. Yeah, now, what else are we gonna get? It's a bit rough also if you would go last rights. That has to be a Tormented Souls here. If you have Jojo against you and D.Va, it's already not great. Malfurion for the control of the choke points, and Tychus for Odin. That's a solid lineup that they have. Tychus for the objective, with Odin that he can pop at any point. D.Va with the explosion, creating some space. Also booming everybody back, and yeah, how is Fish going to turn this around? What is he going to take for the front line? Last pick, potentially even in the entire match. And our Heroes of the Storm series continues with Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis gets taken, and Lauba, is it you? So, map number 4 is coming up, everybody. More Heroes of the Storm here at the Masters Clash Infernal Shrines. We got Team Arthas going up against Inting for Ruby. Infernal Shrines is the 4th map in the Best of 5 series. And on the left side, we got Stalk on Johanna. We got Denado on D.Va. Kodjam is playing Tychus for Odin. I mean, not only for Odin, but it's the biggest and best weapon that he has in his arsenal whenever it comes to the objective. It's just perfect for Infernal Shrines. Renella on Malfurion. We got on level 1, the Emerald Dreams. Malf, of course, was the last patch? 2 patches ago? Got changed a little bit, so now this is more or less your standard that you go for. And at the same time, Morenas is playing Hogga. So, the fish on Mal'Ganis, we got Nox on Ana, Hat on Sylvanas, Mindtalk on Sonya, and Malthael gets played by Baby Houdini, who's apparently the reason why we currently have the game pause too. And as far as I know, Baby Houdini is a bit of a coffee addict. Now, I'm already pretty bad when it comes to coffee, I just need my coffee. But Baby Houdini is apparently in between maps always running into the kitchen and getting himself another coffee brewed. So that man might have a problem. I honestly heard at some point that there are people that when they stop drinking coffee, they got withdrawal symptoms. Headaches and other stuff. It was kind of crazy to me. To a point where I was like, really? That's happening? And I, for a few days, stopped drinking coffee just to check if I fall into that category. Spoiler alert, I don't. So I'm fine. My coffee addiction is very, very healthy and it has no consequences. Now, of course, only kidding. No, but yeah, so Baby Houdini apparently has a big problem there. It's always kind of funny because everybody's in the lobby and then he gets invited and he's not there and his team is like, yeah, he's getting a coffee again. So I don't know if they're memeing or if it's true, but that might just be the reason why we just had to wait for a couple of seconds before he comes back in. But anyways, now that we're heading into this, they're starting to set it up again. Over here, Sleep Dart following in, of course. There's a bit of a sleeper setup that we have. The only one that is missing is the old man. Trying to go for the old man. Oh, stay a while and fall asleep. So, yeah. Anyways, Mind Talk. Go for the camp, and yeah, they're trying to take the third one. This is usually the battle over this at the bottom of the map that gives us the first real team fight. There's always the brawl in the middle, of course. But this is the first real one when one of the teams says, okay, let's commit and try and take the camp here. So we'll see. Anyways, for now, 0-2-0 on that. And does the blue team let that one go? Do they still make a play? They're trying to, first of all, to go for Mind Talk over here, but Morenas doesn't connect that quite. Level 1, by the way, for Malthael, the Death's Reach. Okay, there's the lockdown, and Stork is dead. Easy kill. Well done. Okay, so now we got our first kill of the game. Stork is down. Jojo gets eliminated. Good for them. Yeah, but level 4 talents are in. That's the bigger they are. That comes in here too. And here we go. Oh, I'm so unfunny that I sometimes make myself laugh. I'm like looking at I'm looking at Mal'Ganis, and in my head, for some reason, I all of a sudden heard, "I'm Batman," because he's a bat. Get it? I don't know what that was so funny to me. But honestly, I just look at him. He's like, "I'm Batman." You can tell me whatever you want, but that's hilarious. So yeah, normally Rex says the Batman of the Nexus with the mask that he has. But I have no idea why that happened. I looked at Mal'Ganis the way that he looks here, and I just heard this voice in my head. Yeah, I'm hearing voices, and they don't like you. So there's that. Anyways, the one thing that I also gotta highlight is we have 2 kills to 0 for Inting for Ruby, and we got the entire wall destroyed. Guys, for some reason, Inting for Ruby is taking the lead here. So, yeah, Morenas has a 3rd kill. What the hell? They're crushing. Not only are they ahead, they're crushing them right now. Look at that pressure. And Malthael is sitting up at the top on the shrine and is gonna lock the objective in for them if that continues. So that is getting a... I mean, are we gonna get a 5 mapper here? That would be the first time that Inting for Ruby wins 2 maps in a series. And I could see it happen. If they can continue the momentum here, that might just be it. Malthael up at the top, he's like, boys, I got my PhD in PvE and I am going to wreck that camp. Just you wait. Yeah, Baby Houdini coming in again with the rest of the team joining up. Both of them are now level 7, so that's what you want for the fight. But Stork's team, they got... Hello? If they lose... No way. If they lose Tychus here, they need to step it up, and they're trying to do exactly that. If Tychus would have died, that would have been the end of the fight, and that would have been an insane amount of momentum. But maybe now they can fight back here. Baby Houdini is fully isolated, gets rooted, and dies. The aspect of a death gets killed. Alright. So now here we go. That restores my faith a little bit in the blue team. They got the kill, so that's good. And let's see what else they can do here. Can they win the objective completely? Because, I mean, I guess he can. Malthael is back. It doesn't really take him a lot of time. Sonya is taking the camp right now, so it seems like the blue team is going to get this one for sure. The red team has given up on it. They're not even trying to poke from the outside or anything. So Team Arthas, bit of a setback in the early game, but they're starting to look a little bit better here. D.Va's still at the bottom of the map and is going up against Malthael here. Top side though, that's where the push comes, and this should be the end of the fort. With the wall already opened up before the bad boy makes an appearance, that should honestly be the end of the fort. Would be kind of shocked if they can't pull that one off. Of course, if there's a kill against them, that's a different story. It's a 4 versus 4 over here now. And Tychus and Hogga both have some problems here when it comes to survivability. I mean, damn. They got targeted multiple times. They are not the only ones, by the way. Hat also gets nearly murdered by the Punisher, and they baited in deep. Like, oh boy, that saved the fort. Them baiting it over that hard, that saved the fort. There's the Tormented Souls now, as expected. We got the Nano Boost together with it, and the Carrion Swarm is also in. At the same time, here comes the Bunny Hop again. We already got the Commandeer Odin. The Shockwave is ready too, and the Leap. Yeah, we're going Sonya Leap, everybody. And, well, it's kind of party time over here, but nobody... Apparently they didn't send out party invites because nobody wanted to contest that camp. So instead, here comes the Fish again. Full sleeper setup, trying to enable the rest of his team. But the camp is at least taken. Fort very, very low down here at the bottom. Same is happening at the top, so fairly even on that. But now they're going for Mal'Ganis, and Batman is about to die. Nox comes in, and Anna is the Alfred to Fish's Batman. That support, honestly, fantastic. That's exactly what you want. So that could have been the end of Mal'Ganis, but nope. Instead, we got Anna coming through with the pew pew pew, making sure that they get the save, and that allows them to push the bot side now, take down the fort. Same time, we have a similar play at the top though, because D.Va is fed up with that thing and just takes it down. So 4 down on each side, 3 kills to 1, even experience. And yeah, seems like Team Arthas has resigned themselves to the fact that they're gonna be in for a bit more of a harder fight than they expected as they headed into all of this. So here we go. We got our top right camp about to be taken. Next objective is going to be announced soon, and this time it's going to spawn in the middle of the map. And over on the left side, that's the old geezer. The man with the green beard doing his thing. Yeah, I question the fashion choices of Malfurion, just in general. I mean, honestly, that guy always looks like he's not quite right in the head. I'm not even talking about like this Christmas thing. I mean, dude, haven't you realized it's not winter? Oh wait, we're still in the winter season for Heroes of the Storm, right? Ah, damn it. Small indie company. Alright. In the Blizzard universe, it's still winter, so fair enough. Leave the Christmas decoration up, it's fine. Yeah, next objective, soon TM, but top side they're now pushing, and here comes the Shrine that gets activated. Level 13 talents are the next step for both of the teams. They're trying to go for Mind Talk here. And it's kind of funny how both of the teams are just desperately trying to isolate someone. That, on the other hand, was a bit of a meme. Really? Nano Boost? Anna's a little bit trigger happy over here. Try to come straight in with a Nano Boost, and nobody even... I don't really think that was a misclick, but... Maybe they thought they could force the fight, but now they are missing it for the real Tormented Souls. So that's a bit of a problem. Now we are gonna see everybody just straight up jump for the fight on the Shrine. And with the advantage that the blue team now has, and also Odin being ready, they have a pretty solid position here. Fish is just putting everybody to sleep again. Yeah, and then he gets stunned by the Shockwave and is dead. Down goes Mal'Ganis. That's the kill right here. And Tychus hasn't even popped Odin yet. Yep. Well, I'm actually lying. There's Odin. Wait, did he pop it before or after they moved back? Did he just now use that? Nah, he must have popped it before, right? You wouldn't do that if Mal'Ganis is dead and they're already retreating. You would save it for the push. Anyways, they get the objective, 100%. Bottom of the map, had in mind Hogga at least taking camps. And Pogga is still waiting for it, and here we go. Yeah, that's it, and that's a Frozen Punisher. And Frozen Punishers, they hurt. Yeah, they hurt a lot. So now we got our 22,000 damage against the 23,000. Party time's done. They follow up. Mal'Ganis gets attacked again. And thanks to the Fell Claws and the mobility, he makes it out. Sonya has to leap away. Boy, there's like everybody is just hitting their buttons now. Everybody in this fight is going, and nobody dies. And literally every single ult was just popped in that last encounter. And the Punisher is still alive and kicking. They're trying to go for the fish again. Might not be able to take the fort down, but they're getting damn close. And now that we're having the Frozen Punisher doing his thing once more, that should be the end of it after all. They're diving in deep. They really want Mind Talk. And the explosion takes him down. Sonya is dead, and that's the second fort that falls as well. 3 kills against 3. 30,000 damage on Tychus against the 27,000 for Sylvanas. Bottom has to be defended. Iron pushes too. But yeah, this game is way closer. After seeing this, I really want to see some more games from Inting for Ruby at this half of the season, because I want to see if they can now pull up a performance like this against other teams too. And again, this might not even be over. If they take map number 4, if they somehow come back, win a big team fight, for example, then it's back to business. And to be honest, the last team fight was kind of screwed a bit by the early nano boost on Malthael that didn't really do anything. If they can at some point engage with Sonya, hit a nice leap for... I mean, Mal'Ganis leap into Sonya leap into Tormented Souls Malthael jumping in with the nano boost. If that happens, that's a very, very different team fight. So, yeah. I kind of want to see that happen at some point and find out how Team Arthas is going to deal with that. Because right now, Team Arthas, they're calling the shots, but they're not really that far ahead. They have a lead, and they've taken more structures down, they have a bit more experience. So they're generally looking pretty decent here. Now they have the talent advantage, of course, which helps them in the first place, but that fact is going to be mitigated in a few seconds, and here we are. Level 16 is now also available for Inting for Ruby. So one team fight can change the entire setup here. Next objective spawns at the top, and to be fair, Team Arthas has the advantage once again because they have the fountain here that they can use, and there's nothing left for Inting for Ruby on that lane. They lost the fort, they lost the fountain, so they have nothing that they can do with that. But here we go. That's already our setup in the... I mean, both of them are still trying to see if they can maybe get an easy snipe here on someone. And with Fish being a little bit low, he needs to be careful that that Blessed Shield is not coming in against him. Nox is also keeping them still in play, rushing away here. Top camp has been eliminated, so that's pushing. And there's still 2 camps at the bottom of the map that can be taken. They are jonesing for a fight. They want to take the camp over here as quickly as possible with Hogger, but they're looking for that battle. Already the attack. Don't use your ults now though, unless you are guaranteed a fight. Their leap doesn't hit anything, but they're isolating them for a second. Nano boost gets used, and the Tormented Souls, and Baby Houdini is completely isolated. And he's dead. Here comes the jump as D.Va is getting some work done. Yeah, they're trying to go for a second kill. Mind Talk should be able to move away. They forced the fight, but that didn't really work out the way that they wanted. Maybe a bit too greedy. They could have saved it for the objective, but they didn't. Now the objective spawns, and they are down one of their heroes. All of the ults have been used again. At least the nano boost is back up. But this has to be dealt with because it's already dropping the wall. We got still Sonya down, Johanna down at the bottom of the map. And D.Va is taking position at the top. Ooh, that hurt. The leap didn't connect. A lot of the abilities didn't really connect here. And then Malthael isolated himself by jumping in deep. And got punished for it right away, especially with Malfurion not hesitating for a second to also drop the Twilight Dream there. So that was an easy one for them. Extra damage coming in, and yeah, they are just in trouble now. As you can see, we have still everybody on the blue team side moving towards the top because Inting for Ruby has now taken position on the shrine, trying to fight back here. But there's a push in the lane, in the mid lane and at the bot lane through camps, and that is going to do damage if this continues. Blessed Shield, isolating Sylvanas, and it's a kill. Shockwave is out, and a second one comes in. Sonya with a leap attempt, but the Unstoppable is already kicking in for at least the bunny hop on D.Va. But D.Va goes down, and so does Tychus. Sonya dies too, so it's only a 2 versus 3. But mid and bot lane gets still pushed, and here's the Twilight Dream again, and Hogger is just murdering. It's gonna be a 5-man wipe. It would be a miracle if anybody survives here, and the baby Houdini, he should fall next. There's no way he gets out, right? He's trying. Yeah, they corner him completely. Really? The Juke Master, ladies and gentlemen! Not quite. Not quite. So, yeah, they kill all 5. 5-man team wipe. And now with the level 20 talents, with the no control, with the lunar shower, and even the upgraded stop and pop, we are having a massive advantage for the blue team. They move through the middle a bit to also take down the entire wall here. Hogger is pogging out the top, so he's going to be in a position where he can get the objective for them. And down here at the bottom, I guess like the fort is not going to fall now, but it's still not looking good, and it's up for grabs whenever they really want it. Big lead for Team Arthas through the last fight. This is looking really, really good now for the blue team. They might be able to secure themselves a victory in this best of 5 series here on Infernal Shrines. Even trying to steal away the camp now. So they're coming in for this too. There's still a few more camps that can be taken at the bottom of the map at least, and that's exactly what Inting for Ruby is now trying to do. They of course look for experience. They're trying to get as much as they can, so that maybe even a level 20 is possible for them for the defense. But chances of that happening are slim to none, since they're still an entire level away from the Storm talents. So now it's just try to survive. Blessed Shield connected, but was of no consequence since nobody jumped in for a follow-up. But the keep should still fall here. With the Storm talent advantage and the Punisher at the 16-minute mark, you should be able to lock that keep down. And if you get kills with it, that's a possible play for core. So now they're coming in here. Keep is getting murdered away. They're going through that top keep like hot butter through cheese. No chance. Shockwave! They're trying for the kill, but everybody gets away with 50% HP. They're still pushing a bit, but there's not a lot of HP left on the Punisher. So they're still hoping for a kill, but it's not guaranteed that's going to happen. Here comes the move against the fish, and he's down. Malthdale is also about to get dropped, and that's a triple kill. Ladies, this is over. Kill after kill. 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. Sonya falls, and so does Inting for Ruby. Team Arthas, they struggle a bit more than expected, but they still lock in a 3-1 victory against Inting for Ruby in this best of 5 series at the Masters Clash.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.